Hi, I'm Debbie Brown with DebbieBrownQuilts.com. Thanks for joining me for Watch It Wednesday. I'm working on quilting this quilt on my Handi Quilter Stitch 710 home sewing machine. And I started in the center and worked my way out to the borders. And now that I'm done, I see that I did not quilt this yellow border around the center medallion. I have wool batting in here, and I was hoping that this would pop up nicely, like you see how the leaves are popping up here. I was hoping this would pop up nicely, but as I'm looking at it, I'm seeing a couple wrinkles in here, and to me it just looks like it needs to be secured with some quilting. So I'm going to go back and fill that in now. And I don't think it's going to affect the way the yellow stands out, because the color of the yellow is going to stand out plenty. So let me come in a little closer. So if you can see the piecing, I have pieced this long and this short. I don't actually turn ribbon candy around the corners. What I do is I quilt to the piecing. So I'm going to quilt one very long rectangle of ribbon candy here. I'm going to start up in a seam here, needle down, needle up, pull up the bobbin thread, take a couple stitches to hold that in place, and now I'm going to work left to right here. Whenever I stop quilting ribbon candy, because I need to reposition my hands or scratch my nose or whatever, I try to stop close to a seam line because if there's a little jog in the stitching line, you won't see it as much. And I also forgot to mention, I'm using the exact same white DecoBob thread in the top and bobbin that I did through the rest of the quilt. So even though this fabric is yellow, I'm quilting it with white thread. And with DecoBob being an 80 weight, very, very thin, it's not going to distract from the color of the fabric. Now I've finished the ribbon candy, I can continue stitching the ribbon candy from the right to the left here, but that would be moving it inside of the throat of my sewing machine. I can do that. Since the quilt is only about 40 inches square, I'm simply going to turn it. And now I'm going to do the next rectangle so that the ribbon candy is going to go across the top here and then straight down here. It makes the corners irrelevant. I don't actually quilt corners with ribbon candy very often. I'm going to continue quilting in the same way, quilting to the edge of the piecing, turn the fabric, and quilt the next piece of ribbon candy. I really like the way that flattened the yellow down. It didn't appear so puffy and slightly distorted. It still definitely stands out because the color is such a strong contrast. I love the texture that the ribbon candy gives to this 1-inch area. And I love ribbon candy. It's my favorite machine quilting design. So I'm happy that I delayed the decision and didn't quilt it right away, knowing that I could always come back and add quilting to the quilt if it needed it. Thanks for joining me for Watch It Wednesday. I'm Debbie Brown with DebbieBrownQuilts.com. Visit my website to sign up for my email newsletter. Follow me on all social media as Debbie Brown Quilts. I look forward to seeing you in my next Watch It Wednesday.